Okay, people, I know that there has been some recordings on a 2001 Ford Expedition, and this particular job is for an actuator for the blower motor. So if like one day you get into your car and you're turning this from hot to cold and it stays hot, 9 times out of 10 this has failed. Now in the other recording, it just shows you everything like this. He doesn't really go into deep details of how he gets everything out the way. He even goes as far as removing this right here. What this is another HVAC blower line, or whatever you want to call it, air duct. That's the word I'm looking for. He removes all this without actually telling you how he removed everything. And I watched that video several times trying to figure out what all the steps he done made to get there, and it was just never really clear. So after watching it several times, what I ended up doing was pretty much muting him, because he has not much value to tell me. And I just watched his car. I honed in on his car and see what was all missing. Pretty much I reverse engineered his video. And for what I seen in the video, some way, somehow, he was able to get the carpet up in order to remove this air duct. Now let me tell you something. That's a very important step that he missed out, because without removing all that, you cannot really remove this. Okay? So I had to figure out a way how to make that job a lot quicker. And unfortunate for me, what I ended up doing right here, let me see if I can get a good shot of it. You see this air duct right here? It screws in. It's an 8mm that I used. This is the bolt. Let me see if I can get the screw in. See, this is the screw. And it goes up in here. And it just comes right on out. So what I ended up doing was pretty much getting ticked off about the whole process, because there's another screw on the back side of this. And even removing it and trying to do so, trying to pull this whole thing out, it's a bit of a hassle. So I had to take a step back and figure out what the hell I was going to do. So what I ended up doing, there's 2 screws that faces you that hooks up the actuator. It's these 2 screws right here. I took those out. And this goes facing in the back. If you got a tool or something that can reach that back, more power to you. Those, I believe, I'm trying to see, I want to say they were maybe a 7 or 8mm that I used. I can't find my screws just yet. I know they're somewhere around here to show you, boys and girls. They somewhere around here. But needless to say, they all look like this for the most part. And what I ended up doing is that I took those 2 screws out and I just went to town on it. And what I mean by that, I went and got me a screwdriver and I just started yanking on it, start pulling on it. And what breaks. Hell, I was fed up by then, because this is a heck of a job. I called up to the Ford house, you know, the dealership, and they told me this is a 6-hour job because you got to remove so many things to get to it. And mind you, this is only, I think I spent about $30 or $40 for this little part, just for this little part. So I just took my chance, got me a screwdriver, very unprofessional, and I just started wedging it. I just started really wedging it. Hopefully this will break out of here, because let me tell you something, 1 or 2 bolts in this holds it super, super tight. And I think having 3 or 4 bolts in it is a over-engineering type of ordeal. And it's just having it underneath there is a over-engineering thing. You would think that, like all the other ones that come after this, it'll be up in there where it'll be easier to get. You see how easy and how much room you got? You got more room up there if it was up there to get the job done. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that they put it up under there and you're going to have your work cut out for you. I was going to take it to the shop because it's so much work. It flags for 6 hours. Now, mind you, if they charge you $125, you're probably looking at a $750 bill just on manpower alone. And if they're using Ford parts, we all know the markup inside the dealership. So you're probably looking at about an $800 or $900 job just because a $50 part or a $40 part has decided to stop working. And here in Texas, the summer gets brutal. So this is a must-have in certain areas of the world. There's no debating that you need some cool, you need AC. So this is what I ended up doing. I ended up breaking a bit of the HVAC, the door a little bit, but for what it's worth, I think it was worth it. It's just something that I'm gonna have to deal with a car that's almost 20 years old and paid off. This car probably cost me a bit over $1,000. It has had its issues, but I want to go through all that. So that's pretty much how I got this out, for those who are wondering. And yes, I did pull back the carpet a little bit to give myself some extra room. And yeah, the center console, once you break into that, once you really look at it, it's pretty much self-explanatory. With the exception of a few connections that you could pretty much figure it out on your own. If you got a 4-year-old out here, they could pretty much tear apart this console. And that's why I'm not going to get into deep details about how to take it apart and put it back together, because all it is just nuts and bolts. It's a very, very simple job. It'll probably take you about 20 to 30 minutes to tear it apart, maybe less than that if you really give it a look over. So that's how you do this, boys and girls. Come hell or high water. I hope this video was worth the watch, because I know it was worth me producing. It really was. It was worth me producing, because there's nothing out on the internet that really get into deep details how to take this apart and put it back together. It's a big pain in the backside. So if you're gonna go down this path and try doing it yourself, whether you're a seasoned technician like myself, or you just a DIY type of technician who just want to save a few bucks, and who can blame you in this day and age, these are the steps that I personally went through. And I'm trying to record it and document it as best as I can, so it'll give you something to think about. Maybe you can reverse engineer what I'm doing, and you can find out a better path to repair this. And that's what I'm going for. This is what I had to go through. You don't have to. You can find a different way. Excuse me. Sorry, sneezing. But this is the path that I went through. If you have any questions, just leave comments below. I always respond to my YouTube as much as possible. If this helps you, leave a comment below, give a thumbs up. If there's anything else I can help you out with, share some ideas with you as far as repairs on certain things, I'm gonna try my best. I don't know everything, just a general educated guess for a mechanic who's been doing this for 15 years. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good day.